Hey, I'm up here at the airport in Nazareth. I'm doing a water pump and thermostat on this old Chevy truck here. But I seen a Chevy Astro way down there. Don't know if you guys see it or not, but it's got the smoke tail lights on it. I think I'm gonna stop and see what they want with those tail lights. But on this, we got the water pump and a thermostat. Apparently, he don't want no diagnostics or anything like that. Somebody I know pretty good, so it's not gonna be that bad of a job. It's an older truck. Hey. But anyway, try to do it. I ended up busting my phone. I got crescent wrenches all I got. I don't have a fan clutch tool, so usually crescent wrench would work. You hit it, strike it with a hammer, and just go for it. Let's see. I think that did it. Yeah, I got it. Got it loose anyway. But anyway, get the old fan off. I'm not be able to do it with the shroud on it since the shroud's broken. I'm gonna try, see what happens. Just gotta be careful not to bust this radiator. But anyway, get it off. And it goes something like this. Ta-da! Get the old fan out of the way. Now gotta get the bolts off of the pulley, and then I'll take the belt off, and we can start removing the water pump and the hoses, or hoses and then the water pump. Tell you what, I'm still bragging on that old electric ratchet I got from CC, and that thing's been a beast. It could quit today, and I wouldn't bitch about it for the price. That's the God's honest truth. I took all my magnetic bolt holders out of the van whenever I started to clean the van. And then whenever I had a job, I ended up painting it, and then whenever I had a job, I had to throw everything back in here. The van's a mess again, but a lot cleaner than it was. So I'm just going to find me a bucket or something. Put my bolts in. But to brag about this thing, watch. See, I'm not loosening them or nothing. I put it right on there. And it does it really good. See? Even though I got a cigarette in my mouth. Heck yeah. Take this, try to get this belt off with my old snap-on ratchet. Wait, this ain't the snap-on ratchet. This is the Pittsburgh. Where is my snap-on? By the way, I got to pay him. He's back en route. I got to pay him. I got a little opportunity from him. I can't do this one-handed either. I'm going to get the idler pulley off there, get it out of my way so I can get a hold of that one hose whenever I'm ready to get it off. It's no big task, really. Just get something else out of the way. Let's see if CC will break it without putting torque on it. Nope. But usually do that when you got off. Sorry, can't see it. My bad, people. But get the idler off, and then we can get to the hose and all the bolts we need to get to, and then I got to do the thermostat on it too. But hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble with that hose right there. It's a little blurry, but it's really corroded. I can't get it off the normal way. Took a pick and worked around it. Wanted to keep working it around to get that rust out there, and I sprayed it down with PB Blaster. See if that's going to help us any. I don't know why it's so daggone blurry though. Started taking these bolts out of the, I got the hoses off finally, and everything drained off, and I got 3 of the bolts out. 1 hit the ground on me, and I got 1 to go for the water pump, baby. I know this water pump won't come straight off. It's take a little bit force. I know it came straight off. Oh, pull this baby straight out. I need to put my drain pan back under there. But hey, out with the old, in with the new. Now I just got to clean up the mating surfaces for it. It's pretty grungy. I got to clean all that gunk off and all that. I don't know if I brought my extension for my power drill or not, but I do have wire brushes. I might be able to get in there to it and then clean it all up and get the seals on, or the gaskets back on and everything. Clean up the hoses inside the lip. It needs it because I don't want them to rust back up on the new one like this one was. See on that? That hose was a bitch to get off, man. But hey, I'll keep it on. The water pump's good and tight though. But it was leaking out the weepo, you can see it. Got one side done. Let's see, I barely can get this in there, but it's getting in there pretty good. I forgot my attachments for it. That's the only wire brush I got. I know you guys can't really see it down there, but that's working. I already got the other side. You can see it. A little bit shiny. I don't know if you can't see it. Yeah, there you go. See? As for the water pump in the gaskets, I usually take a little bit of silicone. You don't put silicone on gaskets like this for the water pump. But I usually take a little bit of silicone and I'll put it on the gasket just to hold it in place for me until I get it in. And like I said, it don't necessarily take one. It takes silicone. I'm sorry. Brain got sidetracked there. But yeah, this one I'm just going to have to fight with it and put it back in because I didn't bring no silicone with me. So like I said, most of the time, I'll put a little silicone on there, hold it in place. Alright, I got the gaskets in place. I got the bolts started by hand. I always start your bolts by hand. Some of you is going to just stick them in there and dug it. I always make sure mine started by hand. And then I'll take my old CC ratchet and I'll snap her together. I don't know how you guys do this one-handed, but yeah, I'll just zip the bolts in. Oh man, I might have it on reverse. I do. We need to go forward. And I'll zip the bolts in and for the next part. Since I don't have a torque wrench, which I usually don't torque them, some of you do, it depends on the bolts before I torque them, but I'm not going to trust the electric ratchet on tightening them down, but it does have pretty good power. But I'm going to hand tighten them, that way I know and feel, and or else I'm going to be up in the middle of the night wondering, you know, which we're going to see if it leaks or not when we get started, get it up to temperature. Now let's see if we get all the hoses back on. I'm going to start with this back one since it's a little more difficult to get off. So we can go ahead and get the idler pulley stuff back on there. There we go. And we'll get this one back on there. Oh, I got to have this clamp, which what I'll do is I'll just slide down on there. That way I can wrestle with it, get back up there, because that hose don't go all the way down. And then I'll get the radiator hose on, then we'll put the front pulley on. Ka-chow! All the hoses on. Another little thing I like to do with the pulleys is I'll clean them out from inside to keep vibrations and other things down. Just helps. I feel like it helps a little bit. So I always go around with a wire brush to clean everything out inside. Hey, it's a good habit to be in, right? Again, bolts. People always, they always ask me what takes so long when I do work. And it's because I do work. I do what's supposed to be done. I clean everything before I put it back together. Just it helps in so many different ways, man. Even the next guy, even if it's not me that does this, it just helps. And also they go flying out of your hand like that. If you've seen that. But anyway, yeah, put them all back in there on the pulley. And then another thing I like about the electric ratchets is you don't have to deal with the holding the pulley still and all that, because normally it's one of Newton's laws or something, right? You know, where you put it on there and it'll hold itself still, it goes back in there and tighten down, and you don't have to fight with holding the pulley still, you know, put the wrench on it or add the belt on it or whatever. Just put it on, tighten it up, whatever you want to do. Like I said, one of Newton's laws or somebody's laws, right? Einstein. I don't know if Einstein had any laws or not. We'll put the old belt, the idler pulley back in. But you know, I know sometimes you tell people, yes, I did clean that boat too, but you tell people, call it an idler pulley. I don't know what else you're supposed to call it. I mean, when you go get the part, that's what you tell them, right? Idler pulley. And that just people look at you like you're stupid. Your idler pulley's going back. What the hell's an idler pulley? People. But you got people who don't know much about cars. You know, it is what it is. We'll tighten it down. I did start it by hand. This here just has to be pretty much snug. So, yep. Next, put the belt on, then I put the fan back on. And then I change the thermostat, put coolant in it, let it run, make sure it's full, and I'm out of here. Again, I can't do this by one hand, but I got the belt rerouted, and all I got to do is move that tensioner, pop it down. I always take to the closest smooth pulley when I do it. It's easier to deal with. Anyway, I got the belt on, getting ready to put the fan on, then we'll do the thermostat, and you know, once we do that, we start it up, make sure it's got coolant and everything in it, etc. I tried my best not to bust my light or the radiator putting this bad boy in. Sometimes you can, I would try that trick I've seen online, you know, where you got the engine running and you just set it in there and it catches it. My luck though, I chopped some fingers off. Got the fan on, now we can work on the thermostat. I did take a nut off for this ground wire already. So we got 2 bolts. Now I'm change that thermostat out. There's the part. It's got the seal and everything in it. Yeah. Got one side loose. That was super freaking tight, man. Probably too freaking tight, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. I'm so scared of breaking it. It's so freaking tight. Golly. See that? I just broke my adapter. That thing is freaking tight, dude. Let's move up to the big boy toys. You want to? Should have known better than that. That's pretty freaking. The first one was on there tight as crap. I was afraid of breaking it, but let's do this together. That way, if it breaks, I can blame you guys just as much as me. I don't know if the phone will sit there or not. We'll find out. Whoa, that was scary, but it came. That's too freaking tight, boys. I don't know who did that. Daggone. Got the bolts in, got my bolts. Got the thermostat out. That thing is nasty. But I'll get these cleaned up, get that thermostat out. We'll get the new one in there. Again, this is hard one-handed. I got all the equipment at home. I got the head mounts, body mounts, stuff like that. I just didn't think to grab it. I can't get used to grabbing it. Working, but I want to put out more videos like this for you guys in the future. And just keep on doing what I'm doing. I got a lot of catching up to do. Got a few people mad at me. I couldn't get out to them whenever I was supposed to. Especially due to the weather we've had. We had that big ice storm and everything. Yeah. But it is what it is. And, well, you got to keep on keeping on. I'm not going to be able to get that out with one hand. Yeah, that's going to have to be cleaned up. A couple of rags or something. Talking about yucky. He needs a radiator plus. I'm going to recommend that. I already cut him a deal on coming up here today. But yeah, recommend a radiator plus. I'm going to get this thermostat back in. Try to clean it up and we'll go from there. Old lady is messaging me too, guys, but got the thermostat in. I'm gonna clean these bolts up really good. I put the blaster down in the thread. I don't have a thread chaser, but I'm gonna run the bolts in and out a couple of times before I tighten it down. That way it helps clean it out. There's not much I can do in that situation, but they have it way over torque. You can see it. Whoever done it before, they don't have to do that tight, guys. Actual torque specs don't call for that much. But new one is in. I don't know if you see that or not. Got the ground wire back on. I'm just going to tighten it down a little bit. Cleaned up, back on, tighten it down, and we're ready for coolant, guys. Got all my tools picked up, all but my wire brush. Let's get the coolant out. I don't think it's going to take as much coolant as that. It's already mixed, so we can pour it straight in. No issues there. Look, I'm working on ice. It's melting, 60-some degrees. It's melting. It's sloppy out here. It's had me down for a while. But it is what it is. Where did my funnel go? I got some funnels here. That's clean. Put it in there and we'll start to pour and then we'll start her up. See if we need to burp the system, which it pretty much should do itself on this one. And, oh, make a little mess. Again, I can't do it one-handed. Hard to do this one-handed, but I'm sure you guys seen somebody put coolant in before. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Got the lid cap on it after putting in just for verification. There's the old water pump and thermostat. You know, as some type of verification for them, because you know you got people out there that's gonna say you didn't change something or do what they're asked you to do. I'm up here at the airport. I don't want to see that. Going in for a landing. My dad lives up here too. This is the airport in Hazard, Kentucky. Well, Chevy's, Kentucky. It's not really Hazard. I guess that seat don't stay back. Let's see. Oh, it's stick shift. Huh. These are dying off for sure. Hopefully there's emergency brake on. Sounds good. Got a couple of things off or whatever. Something squealed right there. I think it was just a belt settling off. I had it on there already. But the main thing we're going to do is make sure it's not got no leaks. And then check the coolant level. And we're done. But for now, I'm going to go. If something else pops up, I'll add to this. But maybe my second on video will be a little better than the first. And you guys keep on keeping on. Need a mobile mechanic, Hazard, Kentucky, give me a call. Don't expect me to come running straight out depending on the job. It's just something I'm not able to do. I can schedule you in or you can drop it off at my location. Till then, keep on keeping on.